Hi, welcome back to It's a Miracle Beauty. I am Brandy. We are a beauty review channel, unboxing, stuff like that. With everything going on, I thought I would just sit down and do a get ready with me style with all new products I purchased recently. I am not on a no buy at all in March. I actually had a windfall of money is what I will call it that was allotted towards my beauty purchases, as it is something that I enjoy and everybody got something in the family. And so I did purchase quite a bit new makeup recently, and so I just want to sit down, play with it, try it, see what works, what doesn't, what's going on. So if you like Get Ready with me or you like first impressions, then keep watching because we're about to get into it right now. Hi, I thought I would just sit down and play with a lot of the new makeup I recently got. So this is pretty much a full face of first impressions, maybe not 100%. I did just blow dry my hair. I haven't straightened it or anything else. So just doing my makeup first. Not that I can go anywhere as the whole world is quarantined and my state's in a shelter in place order, but I figure at least I'll feel better. So, pulling my hair back. I am always, when I do this, am moisturized with Clinique Dramatically Different, and I use an eye gel or eye cream. I typically use the cosmetics, but there's one other Korean skincare brand that I like. I can link down below. The Sephora All Day Hydrator I always use as well. So I do have quite a few new primers to look at. One, and then the last two I have are the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, which I think I'm going to use today, maybe in combination with another one, and then the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. I do like the regular Luminous, or regular Putty Primer, so that one's definitely one that I am looking forward to. So I'm going to use the Primerizer by Smashbox, and then I'm going to do just in a couple places, I'm going to do the e.l.f. Putty Primer. And then you can see I did dabble into this one. I wanted to see how it felt and compared to the old one. So I'm just grabbing a small amount. Like, I don't even know if I'll end up using all of that, but I do warm it up between my fingers first. And then I always set my primers with a setting spray. It's just something I got into years ago and has always stuck. I did buy a trial size or sample size, not sample, travel size of the primer water by Photo Finish. It's Smashbox. I wanted to see, this can be used as a primer anyways, but I wanted to see how this one is. That one smells really good. It's not like perfume, but it's not like natural either. It smells really good. Concealer. I do always do color correcting prior to doing my foundation, which I know that not everyone does it in that order, but I am going to do that. So I did purchase the Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer, and this is in the pink corrector. This is a really good concealer, and it's super affordable. It's not my favorite for everything, but it is for when I want to really kind of block out what's going on there. So I'm just going to grab a mirror. What do I have that has a mirror in here? This one does. I'm just going to blot this out. I do my entire eye socket with it, though less on the top half because I have deep set eyes that just cover the darkness just sits in there. This is the first time I'm using this particular product, but I have used their regular concealer. And again, especially when I'm doing like a night out or something that I want to be higher coverage, I use it a lot because it does just cover everything. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it just like whites everything out. And it can look unnatural if you don't use the right foundations with it, but since I'm using a full coverage foundation, I figured it'd be okay. So that is my color corrector on. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the I Love Your Selfie Foundation. I did pick up LP4, which I thought was like a neutral shade. I typically just do some racing stripes and then blend it out and see where it goes. I need more and more. It's amazing how loud our neighborhood is now versus when we weren't in the quarantine or whatever you want to call it, the shelter in place. Our neighborhood was loud in the summer. I mean, it's a busy neighborhood. But right now it is crazy. Like last night, the kids were out playing like it was summer. It's just nuts. We're not being paranoid. We let our kids outside, but we don't want them playing with everybody in the neighborhood because that's not the point of the shelter in place. So all kids got to get out and get some air, but they don't need to see the whole neighborhood. Although the parents may not have had any idea what's happening if they went out to play away from their house. So far, I'm thinking this foundation looks really good. I am using a small mirror in the monitor to look, so it's not a perfect representation, but so far, I think it's looking really good. And honestly, this color is not bad. I would have thought it would have been a lot worse. Like, I'm not seeing a huge line on my neck or anything. That's pretty good. Okay, I didn't overdo it on my nose since I'm not going anywhere, but I do sometimes do like kind of special on my nose because it can, quite honestly, just wear off faster, but I didn't feel like that was needed. So far that foundation looks really good. I have heard it's very drying, so I'm not sure how that's going to work for that. Another one I purchased recently is the Jeffree Star. I'm going to see if I add, this one's a more firmer one from what I understand anyway. So I'm going to see if I add a little bit of this, if it will help. I don't think I have any cream products to put on. Let me make sure I do. I fibbed. Before I set my under eye, I am going to do the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer. And I am going to go very light with this because I believe this is the shade that's too dark for me. I purchased it by accident, but I had already used it, so it is what it is. So I'm just going to try to use it very lightly and see what we can do with that. I think I'm not going to use a new setting powder despite that I have some. I'm actually going to do what I do on the regular. I'm actually going to use my Laura Mercier powder. And I do shake about this much in it. I don't know if you can see it without me spilling it. And then I add some of Jaclyn Hill's illuminating powder. And it does kind of look like that. Just, I mix them together. So I'm just going to set really lightly around my entire face and my under eye. I'm gonna grab my mirror again, and I'm gonna grab a eye setting brush that I use. This is from Alamar Cosmetics, and I love this for under eye. It like pushes right in. I'm using a new formula I've never worked with, so I wanted to do my eyes first. So if I had any spill, you know, it wouldn't hurt it. So I am going to leave my powder out in case I need it later. I do like to line my jaw after my bronzer and stuff. So the palette I'm discussing is the Zoeva. This is the Aristo. And it does look like this on the outside. Inside looks like this. It's very pretty. So I'm going to, again, I'm not going anywhere, so I'm going to do a pretty muted look. So again, I've been using the mirror. This is the Smashbox Halo highlighter. I'm not sure I'm going to use this today, but this is the mirror I've been using for it. It looks like this. It's a really nice mirror. So first I'm going into Plutos. So next I want a little bit finer, more direct brush. So this one is the Jeffree Star JS59. That other one I think was a Jaclyn Hill. That's the JH32. So next I'm going to go in and just deepen this a little bit. I don't want to make it too dramatic. I just want a little bit of depth. So there's only a couple shimmers in here, which is unusual. A lot of palettes tend to have more shimmer than not. So it looks like there is 4 shimmers. There is these 2 at the top, and then the Goddess shade, and then it skips one, and then the blue shade. So I think I'm going to do that green. That's called Prehistory. And I'm actually just patting it because I don't want to get too much fallout. I'm not used to this shadow. So I am just patting it on until I get more of a layer and can go faster. I'm not having, like, I'm not seeing any fallout at all, but it does take a bit to build. But with a shimmer, I am perfectly okay with that, because I would rather I have to build it but not deal with cleanup than have it go on really strong at first and then have to deal with cleanup. So to me, that's a perfect formula. They can accomplish that. Going back to that darker shade, just blending in the outer corner a little bit, trying to blend those together better. Oh yeah, that definitely helped. First brush. Wow, I really like that actually. So I would say this isn't like the most pigmented one that I've ever used. However, I would say it's buildable and they do blend really well. So it's really just a pretty palette. I like that a lot. So next I'm going to do my inner corner highlight. Trying to decide. I think I'm going to use this. I just got the Jaclyn Hill. This is the only one I didn't buy originally. This is Loose Highlighter Extra. I'm just going to take a brush, real small one, and kind of go in here. I'm not going to pour any more out. I'm just taking what's in the jar. I just want to add an inner corner. Whoa, holy cow. Yeah, that's definitely bright. It's probably one of the brightest ones I've used of all of them. That's definitely brighter than her other ones. But if you don't want a showy highlighter, then it makes sense. Purchased it in Diffused Bronze Light. It does look like this. It's very pretty. And then I have the Benefit Mini of the Georgia Peach. They reformulated that one, and I didn't own the original, so I think I'm going to use those two. And then for highlighter, what do I want to do? Okay, I think for highlighter, I'm going to go into a Smashbox palette. So first thing I'm going to do is bronzer. I have a bronzer brush by NYX. It does look like this. It is the O2. It is my favorite bronzer brush. It just, to me, it really just doesn't make it pile up in any one area. And it just really, like, diffuses it out. Next, I have the blush. Where is my blush brush? There it is. I don't know if my blush brush. Oh, it does. I use the Alamar Cosmetics. This is the complexion brush. It isn't angled. It's really like bouncy. want just a little bit more blush. That's not enough. I'm gonna dig into, I received this in my Ipsy. This is the Balm Cosmetics Girl Powder. Oh, this is Girl Powder, not Power. So this actually looks like this. Very pretty. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna kind of mix these two shades over here. I'm actually going to do my brows next. This is a brand new brow brush to me, brow pencil. This is the Age Perfect Brow Magnifying Pencil. I am 41, so I thought that this Age Perfect line was appealing. And I probably will speed this up because watching people do brows is like watching paint dry. I did decide to go with the Anastasia. I bought a trial of the Anastasia lash spread. I guess it'll be a true test if I didn't curl my eyelashes. So my camera just cut off, but it looks like, I mean, it's definitely a pretty formula. My lashes are not going to curl just by a mascara. I just know that from my own. If I ever found a formula that could keep my lashes curled, I would be a customer for life. Well, until they discontinued it, because I'd probably be the only one. But this is a nice formula. I think I'd definitely be willing to buy the full size. In person, this eyeshadow almost looks like yellow now versus green. It's almost like a pewter green in the palette, but now it looks almost yellow. So I'm not sure how that's picking up on camera, but definitely I'm impressed, to be honest. Pretty impressed. Very few eyeshadows or mascaras are able to do that. I do have another one. It's the Fenty Fly Liner. This is in, I know it has a funny name, but I can't remember what it is. See About It. This is like the ocean blue. I do use typically a color eyeliner on my bottom every single day. Not 100% sure with the blue and the green. Show must go on. So I'm going to do a light setting with my, this is the Mercier Candle Glow. Just set my face a little bit because I like to use a finishing powder and kind of set everything in and kind of get everything blended really well. And it gives it a nice glow. This is very similar to the Hourglass. It gives it a nice glow. It just dawned on me that I forgot I have the new Samantha March and Ofra collection. So this did release, I think, about a week ago, maybe. And it does come with these. It does have a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. So I'm going to pull these out really quick. I don't think I could add any more blush without looking like a clown. So I'm going to try to just use a touch of the bronzer and warm up my face a little bit. So this is the bronzer. I'm going to mix these together. think I might be entering Clownville. Don't want to try it. I'm not going anywhere, so why does it matter? Or maybe not. I look in the monitor, I'm like, wowza! But actually, up close, it doesn't look bad. Forehead is a little bit much, though. It's better. I'm telling you, this brush is like a miracle. It just cleans everything up. I love it. Okay, so that is the bronzer. The blush, I will swatch and show you, but I'm not going to put on. I have enough blush on. So this is, and it's called the Blush Duo in Chiclet. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and then mixed. And they do look like that. They're very pretty and very buttery, like smooth. Like it's just really smooth. So the highlighter does look like this. And it says it's start inspired, which Samantha March is all about motivation. She's very inspiring. It doesn't look like I have an actual highlighter brush. I'm just going to grab a kind of big fluffy brush and use it. So this one, I'm going to swirl this one too. Wowza. Holy schnauzers. That is strong highlighter, which is Ofra. They have more of a wet look. I love their look. I'm going to take that catch-up brush again and just try to tone this down a little bit. And my other mirror. That mirror has like got a label. It's like smoky. It's hard to see. Okay, that's actually, it's not bad. It's just the wet look, which I prefer anyway. So still want it to be like a line. The highlight is crazy. Look at my nose. Crazy. I'm going to do my other points. So I have a lip liner. Lip liner I actually received as a gift from DD Decor Beauty. So I'm just trying to locate that. It is Profusion Cosmetics Matte Lip Liner. So thank you, Delilah. I appreciate it. We did some trading, I got things that she wanted and vice versa. So it worked out really well. Very awesome human being. If you haven't seen her channel, I will link it below. I do tend to go kind of thick in my corners of my mouth and then thinner outward. This lip liner is really smooth. It like smells good too, but it smells really good. Sorry for all the noise. My neighborhood is large and in church today. So I'm going to take this Samantha March. It's called Story, and it is a liquid. This is called Story. It is a liquid lipstick with Samantha March in the Ofra. A little bit browner than I would prefer. I'm not really into browns due to my fair skin. I have had some that work really well, but I think the lip liner helped it move more to the mauve coloring versus the brown undertones. So that helps. Let's let that dry for a second while I clean up my desk. So one thing I just dawned on me, I did not use setting spray before I did my mascara, so hopefully I don't get any running since this is a new one I've never tried before. I am going to use the Fenty Beauty. This is the Dew Spray. And since this is more of a, not matte, but more natural foundation, I do want to use a glowy one. Make sure. Okay. This is literally the finest mist. This is finer than Morphe's. This is crazy. I don't think a squirt bottle could do that. Wow, that is crazy. The aerosol one is really fine by Morphe. This is way finer. I didn't think that was possible at all. Very impressed. We'll see if it works, but it's very impressed with that. So the Samantha March set came with a lip topper. It does look like that. And it is called Millie, which I think is one of her characters in her books. Samantha March is a YouTuber for beauty, is also an author, and is now doing podcasts too. Like, she's pretty amazing. So just right off the bat, I like how my stomach's growling. Right off the bat, it comes on like a glittery topper. As you dissipate it, it almost looks like a gloss. It's really pretty.